Okay, so we're going to solve this matrix using inverses. So first thing you need to notice is if the matrix on the left, if it's to the left or to the right of y. So you see how you have y? This problem could have been like this. -5, -4, -9, -8 times y equals 3, -6, -6, 8. Okay? So this problem is different than this problem because in this one you have y on the left, and this one you have y on the right. Okay? So, and then the matrix, we'll call this like matrix factor. Matrix factor. It right here is on the right. And where's the matrix factor on the bottom one? Do you know where the matrix that you're multiplying by is on the bottom? On the left or the right? Yeah. Do you get that? Okay. Matrix factor is on the left. Okay. So let me just move this over here. Or let me lower it for a sec. All right. So because the matrix factor is on the right, you want to, when you do your problem, you want to make sure, I know this is really complicated, but it will make sense in a second, that your inverse matrix is on the right. It's wherever your matrix factor is. Okay, so you see how this right here is on the right? So you're going to go like this. You're going to go 3, -6, -6, 8, and then the new thing is going to go and it's going to be the thing that you're about to make is going to be, it's going to go right there on the right. If it was this one over here, it would be on the left. It'd be the thing that you're about to make, your inverse matrix, will go there, and then times this one, which it goes here. 3, -6, -6, and 8. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, so you understand why it's important to know where the original matrix like kind of is with respect to y. Okay, so now we're going to talk about something called the determinant. I'll just write as det, determinant. And the determinant, actually before we talk about the determinant, let me erase that. Let's just talk about solving this equation. 3x equals 18. Okay, so when we normally think about solving for this equation, because this is basically like solving for y over here, or I'll make this y so you can kind of be the same. So we would multiply both sides by, divide both sides by 3, right? And then we get y equals 6. Another way to think about that is to, instead of dividing both sides by y, you can divide both sides by 3, you can multiply both sides by 1/3. That's the same thing as dividing by 3. And this goes away, and then 18 times 1/3, well, it's 18 times 1, which is 18/3, which is 6. Another way to think about that is multiply both sides by the inverse of 3. or 3 to the power of negative 1? Because what is 3 to the power of negative 1? Nope, 3 to the power of negative 1 is 1 over 3, right? So this is really just 1 over 3, right? So, and that'll wipe that out. Do you get that? That'll wipe that out. And then over here you'll get your 6. So to the idea behind this problem and what we're doing right now is that we're going to multiply both sides by the inverse matrix. So we're going to say, all right, we're going to multiply this side here by, so instead of that, we're going to go like y. See, I could just put it here. And go like -5, -4, -9, -8. Okay, and the inverse of that. You're going to multiply that by this right here. And that'll just get you 1, just like this right here gets you 1. So you're not going to do any math with this. You're just going to know that it's fun, and you don't even have to do this side. Okay, but what's important is the other side. The other side, you want to say, all right, my original matrix is on the right, so then I'm going to put my old matrix, the one that's in the problem, on the right side. I keep it there. And then I'm going to go ahead and multiply my inverse matrix on the right. So -5, -9, -4, -8, bam. So the setup for this problem is like this. This is what your work should look like. You should say, all right, this guy's on the right, and my inverse matrix is on the right. And just know that when you do this little move, this is turning to 1. So you're going to end up with y equals these two things. When you actually work that out, you get your answer. Okay? And the calculator will actually punch that right out. The calculator will do that, but that's not going to help you. So I can show you how to check your answer. You with me? All right. So the only problem is we don't know how to get this yet. We don't know what that is, right? So that is the formula for that is, or I'll say like matrix, the formula for like the inverse of matrix A. And let's say this is matrix A. I'll call it here, which is a better way. We'll say we have some sort of matrix which is A, B, C, D. Okay, so that's matrix A. Well, the inverse of matrix A is equal to 1 over the determinant of, you're going to swap the location of these guys. Okay, so if I swap the location of those guys, what goes here and what goes here? D and A, okay? And then you're going to opposite, so here's swap, and you're going to opposite sign these guys. So this would be negative C and negative B. Okay? All right. Now, almost ready. We got to talk about the determinant. The determinant right here, the way you get that is going back to our matrix A. So let's say let's write down our A again. So matrix A is A, B, C, D. The determinant of A equals this times this minus this times this. So it's going to be A, D minus B, C. Okay, this times this minus this times this. Okay, so we'll kind of put these two in a little thought bubble right here. All right, so let's get the determinant of our matrix. We're going to get the determinant of matrix of this one that's in our problem, which is -5, -4, -9, -8. Okay, so what times what minus what times what? Okay, -5 times -8 minus what? -9 times -4. Okay, so what is -5 times -8? 40. And minus, and what is -9 times -4? Okay, so it's 40 minus 36, right? So 40 minus 36, it's 4. Okay, so that's our determinant. So now we go back to this idea. So we're going to go, so remember it's going to be 1 over the determinant times the swap-aroo. So 1 over the determinant times swapping that matrix around. So let's go ahead and get that matrix, the original one, which is this one. So there's the original one. Okay. And we want to swap these guys right here. So what do we put? -8 and -5. And then we're going to opposite sign these guys right here. Let me do this. Let me do it like this. And I do it like this, I guess. Yeah. 9 and 4. And then 1 over determinant. Well, we know determinant. Determinant is that number 4. So it's 1 over 4 times this right here. Okay. Okay. Then you want to go like you want to multiply. And when you're multiplying by a whole number, you can think of it as like distributing to all of them. Not to a whole number, but when you're multiplying by like a non-matrix, you can think of it as just like distributing like that. Okay? Okay. So this will be like I'll put 1/4 in front of everything here. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4. And then it's going to be times -8 times 4 times 9 times -5. Okay. Then we're gonna get, what are we gonna get for the first location? hmm And then for right here, what we're gonna get? Right here, what are we gonna get there? 1, okay. And then what do we get for bottom left? I like the 2.5 number. Okay, so yeah, let's put that down. You said, wait, 9, 2.25. And then what about the other one? -1.25. Okay. Now, what we have found is we found the inverse matrix. Like, if this was in this problem, if this was matrix A, if I said that, wait, back over here. Yeah. If I called this matrix A, then what we found was the inverse of matrix A. Okay, so we found, let me copy this down. Let me bring this all the way down. Okay, so so basically, the inverse of this number, of this matrix right here, of this one, so if I copy it like this and go -5, -4, -9, -8, the inverse of that is this guy over here. -2, 1, 2.25, and -1.25. Okay, okay. So then we have one more move left. Remember that so this is located on the right, so that we want so the inverse is going to go right here. Inverse goes here on the right because the y is on the left. So in this original one is on the left. So then we're going to say, you can think of it as multiplying both sides by the inverse. So when you do that, this goes away. And you end up with y, just y, equals the original one that's on the right side of the equation, which is -3, -6, -6, 8. So I just copied this one down, times the inverse, which is -2, 1, 2.25, and -1.25. Okay, and hold on one sec. And before we continue, let's just double check on the calculator that no mistakes have been made. So what we're going to do, just punch this answer right out, is you're going to multiply this right side matrix with its inverse, with the inverse of this matrix that's right here. Okay? So you're going to multiply this times the inverse of that, and that'll get you y. So we're going to go, we're going to call this matrix A, and I'll call that matrix B. Okay, so go here and let's just go set up our matrix A. So matrix A is 2 by 2, and it's going to be -5, -4, -9, and -8. Okay, that's matrix A. Matrix B, I'll go edit, go down to B. Matrix B is going to be 3, -6, -6, and 8. 3, -6, -6, and 8. Okay, quit. Something else your calculator can do is it can figure out the determinant, which is this number that we got. Remember that 4 that we got right here? Yeah. So if we go with our calculator here, and hold on a second. All right, so if we can go second matrix, go down to math right there, and then go down, oh, the first option, determinant, and then second matrix, A. So this answer needs to be 4. Okay, so punch that out, 4. So we did that part right, because that's the determinant of matrix A. So you could, that's checkable. That was just this move right here when we did like where was it? This times it was when we did this times this. You know yeah, this times this minus this times this. That gave us 4. All right. So now to finish this problem off, so we have everything we need. We're gonna do B times the inverse of A. So you go B. Oops. All right. Second matrix. Go down to B. Put it down. There's our B. Okay, and then second matrix. Go down to A. Put it down. So all we've done so far is we've done B times A, which will give us the wrong answer. But you hit this button right here, and now it's B times the inverse of A. Oh, wait, before I do that, let's figure out the inverse of A, since that's what we just did. So here. So the inverse of A is this. Let me do it over again. So if you want to, let's just go second matrix, put down A, and then hit the inverse button. That's the inverse of A. So if I go here, that's what that was like the last thing we did by hand down here. And look, it looks like we did it correctly. Look right here. See right here? -2, 1, 2.25, and -1.25. Okay? And the final answer is going to be matrix B times the inverse of A. So you go over here, you say, all right, I'm going to put down my matrix B times the inverse of A. Put down A, hit this negative x and -1 thing, and this is what Y is. This is going to be our final answer down here. So we go down all the way over here, and we know here that this right here is what the answer should be. So let me just minimize that a little bit. Okay, so we've kind of found that right there. That's good news. Yeah, well, this is the answer right here, the final answer. So, because what we're doing, and you can see it here, is we did original matrix B times the inverse of matrix A. right there, right? So then y equals, now we'll do it by hand. So we go like this, and we know that we have a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2. So we know the answer is going to be a 2 by 2, right? If you have a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 2, and as long as these are the same, which they are, you don't have undefined, you can go forward with the problem. And we know it's going to be a 2 by 2. And then it's up and down by up and down. So here's a 2 by 2. Okay. So then now you need your matrix multiplication skills. So it's going to be this times this. So for the upper left, you want the upper and you want the left. All right, so what are we doing here? Give me the work. -3 times -2 plus -6 times 2.25. Great. Okay. So that left-hand corner is done. So we go get rid of that, get rid of that. And we're still on the upper, but now we're moving to the right. Okay. And what do we get now? So the first of the left with the first. So -3 times 1 plus, so the second one here with the second one here. Yeah, -6 times -1.25. Okay, next. So now we're on to the bottom left, right? All right, so bottom here, left here. All right, go ahead. -6 times -2 plus, so you got those two taken care of. Yep, plus 8 times 2.25. 8 times 2.25. All right, and then now we're on to the bottom right. Okay, go ahead. -6 times 1. 8 times -1.25. Okay. All right, so then we go here. And for our final answer, y equals, and you just punch all that out. So, yeah, I'll do the first one, and then we can just copy it down. So, it's -3 times -2 plus -6 times 2.25, which is -7.5. Wait, that's not right. Hold on. -3 times -2. Well, that's weird. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there's a mistake. This should have been a +3 right here. So we're going to switch all these guys to positive 3s. You got positive 3 there, positive 3 there. That's it. Okay. So now we have, let me just bring that back up again. So this should have been there, negative 19.5. Well, hold on now. And this should be 3 plus negative 6 times negative 1.25 times negative 1.25, 10.5. And this is negative 6 times negative 2 is 12. So 12 plus 8 times 2.25, 30. And then the other one is negative 6 times 1, which is negative 6, plus 8 times negative 1.25, which is negative 16. And that's your answer. Same as that. Okay, so if you put it on fractions real quick, go back over here. So on your calculator, or look, negative 19.5, enter, and then go math, enter, enter. Negative 39 over 2. No mixed numbers. So first one would be, if you need to do it in improper fractions, negative 39 over 2. Second one is 10.5. So just do 10.5 on the calculator, enter, math, enter, enter. 21 over 2. Yeah.